Have you ever heard of the term summer learning loss or summer slide? Because if you haven't and you are a parent or you're a new parent, you're definitely going to want to watch this video.
Welcome back to Mommies with Jen. I'm Samantha.
And I'm Vanessa.
And we make videos on how to teach, love, and care for your kids. So if you want more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button.
Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about a term that every single teacher hates and some parents are not really aware of. So by the end of this video, one of the things that we want you guys to take away is just a list of effective practices to avoid your children to falling into the summer slide.
So before we begin, what is the summer slide or what is summer learning loss? In simple terms, it is when your child regresses in their learning during the summertime when they are not in school. And you can think of learning as a muscle. The less they flex that muscle, the more they're going to lose. So it is very, very common. It happens to all of us. We know as teachers that they come to school and they can be several months behind, and we spend the first few weeks of school actually remediating the things that they have already learned. That on average, every kid comes back to school in September having lost, on average, 2.5 months of math skills, 2 months of reading skills, and 2 months of general skills, school skills overall.
Yeah, which is, again, like you said, it's one of the reasons why when kids come back to school, it takes us such a long time to get them back into the habit of learning because they have lost their routines, but also because we are remediating everything they learned the year before.
Yeah, so here are some ways to avoid that summer learning loss.
One of the things that you have to do is just create a summer learning routine, right? Or maybe just a reinforcement routine. It doesn't necessarily mean that they have to be sitting there for hours and hours. No, we want you to create a routine where kids do X, Y, and Z, where they're consistently just practicing some of those necessary skills so that when they do go back to school, they're on point.
Yeah, so it can look something like this. They wake up in the morning and after they get ready for the day and they have breakfast, they sit down and do their morning activities or learning activities that you have for them ready to go before they go out to play or before they watch television. So it just becomes part of their day.
So just one of the things that helps me to do this, because I need that reinforcement too, and that just those daily reminders, is I create a checklist, right? We love checklists as teachers, and that's one of the things that we mentioned in one of our first videos, is just how to use that checklist so that your child is more encouraged to not miss any of the activities that they have to do. So as they complete them, they check them off, and then this is just going to ensure that everything gets done.
Yeah, it's also a great way for them to start checking themselves and monitoring themselves so that they gain that independence.
All right, so our recommendations as teachers so that your child avoids summer learning loss is get your child reading. And all we are asking for is 20 minutes a day. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart, because as I say goodbye to my students in the end of the year, I always tell them, please just read. Make sure you're reading. Why? Because I know that reading, in fact, it's been proven that they lose 2 months of reading skills, but if you do read through the summer, then you gain 2 months of reading skills. So all you want to do is read for 20 minutes a day. Use that timer, as we're always talking about. Set a 20-minute timer, have your child read.
The next step is to have them verbalize. Have a conversation with them and ask them questions and provide plenty of opportunities for them to verbalize with others. I'll link a video above, somewhere around here, where we talk about how verbalizing and authentic opportunities to use language really promotes language development.
And maybe if you are stuck on how to get them to verbalize, then use the book that they're reading, right? You can ask them right after their 20 minutes are done, well, can you summarize what you read? If you're notice that maybe you're not understanding, it's because they're not being clear. So ask them a little more detail, like who was the character, who were the characters in the book, what happened first, what happened next, how did you feel today reading this book? Did you feel sad or did you feel happy? Were you intrigued? Any type of question that will just get them talking about what they read.
Yeah.
So the third item on the list is to have them practice their math skills. So I know that Noah at the end of the year always brings back books that have not been completed, right?
Yeah.
They go through X amount of units in the year and they don't always complete the entire books. So what I end up doing is every day I'll work from a unit that they've worked throughout the year, and I'll just say, can you complete 1 or 2 pages, depending on how lengthy they are. But you want to constantly just reinforce those math skills. Another way to reinforce math skills is just by doing fluency drills. Like, I know he's in 2nd grade, he's going to 3rd grade, he has to know his multiplication tables. So I'll just have him do fluency drills either with flashcards or on a whiteboard, or maybe just have them write it down, or maybe I'm just asking him while we're driving and he's shooting back the answer. So practicing daily math skills will definitely be a big benefit to your child.
Yeah, and many teachers would be more than happy to provide you with supplemental materials too, if you go to either their teacher from this school year or the teacher that you know will be teaching them the next year, and say, hey, I want to do some practice over the summer. Do you recommend anything, or do you have anything that I can use with my child? I'm sure that they'll be more than happy to give that to you.
Absolutely, or even just a simple online search where you search for 2nd grade math or 1st grade math or kindergarten math. The idea is that they dedicate at least 10 minutes. Again, we're not asking you to sit them down and do this for hours and hours. We just want them to continually practice and just constantly think about the things that they have learned.
Yeah.
Our next tip is just to practice writing, and that can be either spelling, or I know Noah is now writing paragraph forms, either opinion writing or what they did during the day, which is personal narrative, anything that involves writing. And I know you're an ELA teacher, so how can the kids work on that during the summer?
Yeah, so this is actually a great time for your child to become creative. So if you just do a simple Google search for creative writing prompts, it could really get them thinking and flexing those, not only their writing skills, but their creative buttons, where they get to imagine different worlds, where they get to write themselves into a story, where they get to reflect on their day. If it's journaling, you could do something fun like get them a really nice notebook that's just theirs, so that they have something that's personal to them, and they are encouraged and have positive memories associated with writing.
I have to agree with that, and thank you for that tip, because when I take Noah back to school shopping, which we're going to have a video on that for you guys, it just the level of excitement that he has, and he wants to go home and he wants to write in those books.
Right.
So having them choose is definitely going to increase the chances that they're going to use the books.
And along the same lines, we really want to be building positive associations with all of these things that we're mentioning here, right? So we don't want to make reading, math, and writing to be a chore. It's really a fun time. So let's write a story, right? Let's do a math drill. Make it exciting, make it a game. There's no reason why learning has to be painful. And if you teach them that learning can be fun, it's more likely that they'll return to school and look at learning overall as a positive experience. Never, and please, this is as an English teacher begging parents out there, never use reading as a punishment.
Big no.
Reading, don't say like, oh, you didn't do this, now you have to sit and read for 20 minutes. Reading is, there's nothing better to me than curling up with a really great book and reading at the end of the day. So really begin to foster those that love for these things, for learning with your child from a really early age.
So the next item on the list is just to use technology, right? We've talked about that before. There are definitely different apps out there that you can use to reinforce learning. So we'll link some of those below so that your child can constantly engage in learning in a fun way. Again, like Samantha said, you want to make this a positive experience. So we wanted to invite you guys on joining us on a 25-day reading challenge with your kids. And we're actually going to put up a link below, which will read in different forms for the 25 days. And it would be awesome for you guys to take pictures of your kids and put them online. You can share them at Mommies of Jen on Instagram. And it looks something very simple, like one day they'll read under the tree, or one day they can read at a park, or one day they can read in bed or in a hammock. We're gonna give you guys a list, and you choose whatever it is you want to do first. It's not gonna be in any specific order because it's gonna be, you know, not everybody's gonna get to go to the park on the same day, but we definitely want you to join us. And the reason why we're doing this is just because we wanna foster that love for reading, because it's going to translate into success for your kids.
So, Summer Reading Challenge, we hope you join. Let us know below which of these tips you're going to use with your kids, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell for more videos like this. We'll see you next time.